Alrighty. Oh. Alrighty, good evening, welcome to the BNR Racing Network. Sorry about 2 weeks ago, I was under the weather, but I'm back. Here tonight, the SRU Xfinity Series from Indianapolis. And I'll go over the race information. Still feeling a little bit under the weather, but it'll be what it will be. So if I can do less talking today, that would be awesome. But we'll see. I'll go over race information here. You see here we're at Indianapolis. They changed this shit around so much. Anyway, we're at Indianapolis. We're at a 2.5 mile track. 112 degrees is the current track temperature. With a 723 feet of altitude. 80%. Sorry, it's 80 degrees out. 47% humidity. Cloudy skies with the 5 miles per wind. They get 75% fuel, 80 laps, 200 miles, 4 sets of tires, 1 quick fix, 2 attempts at a green white checker stage break at lap 30. Commentary by me and Will whenever Will gets here, which I think he is here.
Yeah.
He can go over the rest of the shindig, and I shall return.
Yes, sir. So, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Brickyard here this evening for this 200-mile event here. Like Brian already said, 80 laps here, the equivalent of 200 miles. Like Brian already talked about, stage break will be at or around lap 30. Jason tries to get it, most of everybody in. Tries to get, at least the top 10 through the start-finish line, the top 5 past the start-finish line, and then throw that caution. So, if I'm not mistaken, the weather out here looks to be pretty calm. I don't think it's going to be pretty slick. Practice looked to be pretty mild-mannered as far as, heat, temperature, track conditions, and everything. So, that could be just... may make the racing pretty packy as far as just pretty close quarters. Even after they get kind of spread out, you might still see some racing going on. Nick Rader currently fastest with a 53.3. So Indianapolis has just 9 1/4 of banking in each of the 4 corners. Each of these corners is distinct in and of itself. Turn number 4 really narrows up. It may not seem like it, but once we get riding on board on some onboards later this evening, coming out of turn number 4, you'll really get to understand what I mean by that. Turn 2 narrows up, but not as bad, I feel like, as turn 4, but some believe it's quite opposite. Some feel like turn 2 is worse. Probably a lot of trail braking going on this evening here in the Xfinity Series, trying to just get the car wound down enough. You're carrying so much speed going down these straightaways, these long straightaways. You think, am I ever going to get into the next corner? Like I said during the Sunday broadcast here for the SRU Cup Series, I said it was pretty much some drivers turn it out to be 8 corners when there's actually just 4 corners. Even some NASCAR drivers like Jeff Burton used to say there was 8 corners here.
So
But
I was told that
yes.
these cars are very loose, and the grip fall off is extreme. So iRacing did do one of their little tire update thingy-majiggies again. So now with the Xfinity cars, from what I'm told, when Jason came in earlier, that be prepared to watch the faster guys fall off quick.
Yes, you're kind of seeing that in qualifying. The car is really yawing out, entering the corners, especially in turns 1 and turns 3. The car's really kind of wanting to yaw out more than normal. So they do look a bit loose, especially on entry. So Currently, 8 drivers have set a lap time of something on the board here this evening.
So I'm going to go over the starting grid really fast. So
Simple.
starting P1 will be Nick Rader. P2 will be Zach Deutscher. P3 will be Michael Yarrow. P4 will be Brandon Hartwell. P5 will be Kyle Munson. P6 will be Danny Story. P7 will be Philip Bridgman. P8 will be Rick Adams. P9 will be David Cassidy. P10 will be Terry Duguay. P11 will be Larry Blair. P12 will be Kevin Roy. P13 will be Paul Cohen. P14 will be Bobby D. We're just going to say Bobby D. Jason Adams, Mark Kosick, and Josh Jones. That is your 17-car field.
This evening for the Brickyard here in the SRU Xfinity Series. Thank you, Brian, for the race.
Welcome.
Starting grid rundown. Order. Yes. And soon they will roll off the grid.
I'm not sure about fuel-wise. I didn't get that. All I heard was
35 to 40 laps is what I got from the people who I spoke to real quick before the race. So they should be able.
This week, I think, or the following week, next week, they're at Indy in real life. I think.
Yes.
Yes. Who's pitching? Hey, a message earlier. I was sleeping. I was fucking. Oh, I gotta get better with that. Sorry, I was flipping sleeping. Worked out in the heat all day, and you know that heat, treacherous. Work out all day. Well, our AC unit broke at work, so it was reading like 93 degrees inside the building. So.
Holy cow! I gotta go roll the windows up in my car real quick, Brian.
I got it. As these drivers roll off. Take the green flag. $17 drivers, well 15, 2 couldn't make it, which I do believe was Cohen and Josh Jones. At lap 30. See right here, the pace car is about to pull off.
Green flag.
And we're on our way. Live on the BNR Racing Network on YouTube and Twitch. Difficulties, so unfortunately.
All right, going down the back straightaway here.
1, 2, oh.
McGregor leads going into turn 3. Everybody, oh my.
Yeah, that could have been ugly.
Is that Cassidy?
That was...
I believe that was Cassidy. It might have been Story. Yeah, 17.
So it might have been Story. I know it had a 8 there.
Are you sure?
I'll let you know.
I think that was Cassidy. That was Cassidy. It just gets out from underneath him. Just the draft, it makes him go tight. And Terry Duguay gets up out of the groove and almost walls it. If not, he might have clipped it trying to avoid Cassidy. But everybody avoids one another, so a calm, cool, and almost collected first lap. As Rader leads Deutscher, Yarrow, Hartwell, and Munson. That's the top 5 as we get 2 laps completed. Bridgman, Story, Adams, Cassidy, and Duguay.
I think the strategy is
Yeah.
and then make your charge later in the race. That's how Slick is saying that.
And also, not just that, Brian, but you're going to have enough fuel, we do believe, to make it to that stage, that lap 30 stage. So you can pretty much, if you wanted to, try to press onward, try to get all you can get off the start here. So, you know, if you wanted to, just kind of blow your stuff off now, so to speak. See what you kind of can do, see what you can't do. You got 30 laps, you know, to see what you can do. But you were talking about the tires kind of going away after a few laps here at Indy. You know, it's a diamond textured pavement pattern, tarmac asphalt, you know, layout here at Indianapolis, so that diamond texture really will kind of just eat at the tires, especially if it's a heavy automobile like these heavy stock cars can be, Brian. As you see Terry there, that last lap in turn 1 get way up out of the groove, but now he's attacking Jason going into turn 1, who just kind of lets him. That was not Jason, that was Kyle Munson. My apologies. That was Gilmore.
Kind of look alike.
Yep, that was Story and Gilmore, or Munson, my apologies. I'm just getting everybody wrong. But yes. Munson could be one of those drivers that, like, you know, kind of like Jason was predicting earlier, like what you said, could be one of the quick guys that just falls off super quick. I'm just not really expecting it to happen, but it can. And this track can be so easy to just tear your stuff up so easily, burn your equipment up so fast here at Indianapolis. You know, you have to back up these corners like you do, or kind of drag, you know, just kind of ride the brake, drag the brake into these corners, and just kind of mind your P's and Q's, so to speak. You know, you don't really, you want to mind that gap to the nearest competitor. You just want to give each other space, so to speak. It can really be only kind of a single lane track, especially in the corners. So you really want to pick and choose when you want to make that pass attempt. It's all really about keeping up the momentum and carrying it forward, right? Even if you were racing at a short track, keeping up your momentum at a short track, but it's vastly different here. This 2.5 mile, pretty much relatively flat oval. Ontario Speedway in Ontario, California was pretty much the West Coast version of the Brickyard. So that track, just like Riverside, no longer exists. But
yeah,
good battle between the breweries. Go ahead.
I think I remember none of these turns are the same exact turns.
Yes.
They're all banked differently, and some have a little bit more of a solid banking. Some flat. No, New Hampshire's got a little slower banking. I mean, but I think Indianapolis has a little bit more banking, a little bit more of an altitude to it.
Yeah, just like I was talking about, turn 4 really narrows up out of the corner. Like I said, whenever we get a chance, do a crank it up or onboard or anything, you can get a good gist of really how each of these corners are different from one another with the same amount of banking. Like I said, 9 degrees to 9.25, pretty much the same degrees of banking, right? All these corners have, but each one of them flow differently because of just the trajectory and how you have to kind of just point the car to get it to turn, rotate through each of these 4 corners. Indianapolis, Pocono modeled slightly after Indianapolis, as far as the straightaways and turn number 2. I believe it's turn number 2.
I think so.
And also,
they will be halfway for their stage break.
what lap are you on?
I am on lap 11.
Oh, okay. Stream's a bit choppy. We're on lap 9 at the moment.
For a slight delay.
It's okay. Well, Brian, let's do a rundown through the field, because at the moment it's almost as if Cassidy and Story's the only 2 cars in the race. But Cassidy, he's closing in on Bridgman, so ever-long battle just moving on up for Cassidy. He has started and just working his way up that totem pole. Even after having that lap 1 moment, I believe that was lap 1, where he was going to look for an RV just about in the infield, but
when he was getting ready to pass, what's his face?
Indeed, what's his face? Yes.
What is it? Story? Dan? Oh, Dan. I do run down real quick. So you see here, P1 will have Mr. Nick Rader. P2.
Yes, indeed, Nick.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yep. Zach Deutscher in P2 there, just lurking behind. You would think might have a bit of the tow. Then Michael Yarrow in third position. Everybody's kind of spaced out and got a good length of gap away from one another. Right behind Yarrow is Brandon Hartwell there in the number 25 car. Riding in fourth position. Then David Cassidy, who has been putting up a scrap with Phillip back there. That is fifth and sixth position. So Phillip in that 5 car, trying not to fluster too far down. It's only, like you said, just that halfway point, so just have to wait and see. Then Danny Story there in the 87, 7th position. Right there, Miller High Life car. Kyle Munson in 8th position. He's going to fall under attack here, it looks like, by Jason Adams and Larry Blair. That is 8th, 9th, and 10th positions.
Kevin Roy.
Oh, okay, Kevin Roy. My apologies. Kevin Roy has gotten by Larry Blair. Kevin Roy looks like to be in a Speed Racer paint scheme. Speed Racer. So this is a good cracking battle going down the back straightaway. Like I said, 8th, 9th, and 10th positions.
Speed Racer.
Like the movie, the anime, like the old show.
Okay.
Yeah. Larry Blair in 11th position right now. Like we said, just got passed up by Kevin Roy for that 10th position. And then Rick Adams in the 12th position in the 42 machine.
Mark.
Mark. Okay, well, my apologies. My totem pole's a little bit off.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
It's all right.
We're still getting there, Don. Terry is unfortunately 1 lap down, the only car off the lead lap. Jones and Paul Cohen did not start.
You see there, Zach fell off tremendously there. Is what we were talking about. A second and a half. What's that fall off there? So that's going to be detrimental. Here you go, Judge.
Jason Adams getting by Munson, looking to get up to Story. Now you have Kevin Roy stalking Munson.
So 16 of 80 in the books. As Kevin Roy looks to apply some pressure to Munson. Try to get him off kilter a bit going into the turns. And now just pacing himself, trying to work his way through the field, trying to get that long run pace, which we know that Kevin Roy does have.
Now, from our understandings, from looking at scheduling and everything, Brian, next week we have another off week, and then we go to Michigan. So, and that's where SRU Xfinity Series heads to Michigan. Then after Michigan will be Talladega, then the Charlotte Road Course. If not, get turned to something else. Anyway, just have to wait and see, hold our hats, and all of our fanny packs and wait and see until all that comes, all in due time. But we're still waiting and getting through with Indianapolis here at this present time. But Michigan, man, that's sure to be a fun race. Those Michigan races are pretty fun to watch, call, get to see. Doesn't matter, almost never matters really what series it can be. They always can put on a good show.
Yeah.
Speaking of Michigan, we still got the BNR Cup Series on Saturdays still to finish, so that is hopefully to be this weekend. This Saturday, holidays falling on such a awkward day of the week and everything, so.
Always does.
And then that means that the following weekend or something, people getting back home or traveling or etc. You could have a half a week off or just get the, different strokes, different folks, different companies do different things. So like you say, I'm going to assume 20 laps in or 19. Is it 19? 19. My apologies. So, gotcha.
20 laps now.
I guess you could put up like the window that you use for Twitch. Give me that window, I guess. I don't know. So then that way I have scoring tower as well. So I don't have to keep asking you.
You're right.
Because everything's so faulty at the moment. Well, not faulty, just behind. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, shebang, as old Michael Waltrip would say. So yes, 20 laps logging currently in, about to be in the books. 10 laps to go before we get to the stage break, where the top 5 will be awarded points. Top 5 of any SRU series are awarded points. Championship points. Rick Adams is now out of the race. Kevin Roy joins Terry Duguay as being 1 lap down club. Brandon Hartwell pitted as well. Philip Bridgman pitted. So maybe, just maybe, maybe they didn't have enough fuel to make it all the way. Maybe the drivers did tell me some stories. No pun intended to stories, last name there, as we see this good tussle going on our screens here. Kyle Munson, Daniel Story getting a little bit up out of the bottom groove. Here comes Munson. Munson's going to have a good charge now down the back straightaway. And it looks like, indeed, Kosick will decide to go with Munson.
Oh, Raider pitted.
Indeed. So that will hand the lead over to Zach Deutscher, which Michael Yarrow, let's go up to the top 2. They are right on top of one another. So 21 laps in the books, 22 logging, and looks like Bridgman, there he comes, right out in front of the race leaders. Michael Yarrow pivoting low to try to take the line away going into turn 3, which he does. Yarrow looking to get a championship point. Bridgman up out of the groove on cold tires into turn 3.
Yeah, cold tires are brutal, so you got to actually pace yourself when you come out. You got to build that heat up into it. You see there Zach Deutscher now going to make his pit stop right there, as we see there as Yarrow continues to stay out.
Getting a point, leading a lap. Well, probably this lap, now that Yarrow has that extra bonus point, and got to remember Yarrow and Hartwell are in that fierce championship battle over here in the almost should be in the SRU Xfinity Series.
It's okay.
I know, just
we all do it.
But well, just wishing I had SRU Xfinity Series races to call, I guess, on a Thursday instead of double cup races. That's just me, though. I like Xfinity cars. Oh, Bridgman gets a bit tail slappy coming out of turn number 3. So Philip with his hands full this evening. Like you say, these cars looking to be just a handful to drive at the Brickyard as Yarrow brings his car down pit lane. David Cassidy, Will Cassidy, he's going to stay out to hopefully lead a lap. Will he get there in time before Yarrow gets to the... Yes, he will. I was going to say Yarrow to Bricks, so Cassidy leads a lap, so lead change goes in favor of Cassidy. How far back? Ryder, looking down the voting order and looking at maybe some other drivers that could be possibly, maybe, hypothetically, could possibly stay out and maybe go the distance. Maybe Larry Blair could maybe be a spoiler here and go the distance, or, excuse me again. Who knows? Just have to wait and see. We got 6 more laps here. Here comes Cassidy, bringing his Budweiser, not sure, car down. I want to say it's a Chevy. It could be a Ford.
Chevy.
Probably a Chevy. Okay, thank you. Jason Adams will be credited with the lead change and leading that lap of the race, lap 24. Coming to lap 25 as this pit cycle continues. Larry Blair in the pits now as well. So Kyle Munson right behind Jason. This battle has been kind of going on for a handful of laps. Jason might have gotten a bit too shallow in turn number 2, but he didn't pay the price that time coming out of turn number 2. Normally the price you pay, Brian, as you know, is just the car will kind of just hit the bottom of the track and it'll flatten out, and it'll just normally go to that concreted wall there, that concrete retaining wall, to keep you inside the track at all times. Oh, very, very brutal. So Jason decides to stay out just a tad bit longer with Munson, but Cossack and Story pit behind. Got to remember, Terry is a lap down. Third car in shot before they went into turn 1. To turn 1. It's okay, I'm a stutterer. I'm allowed to do those things. So, I'm not saying it gives me a pass or nothing, but, I'm just,
So Yarrow is about a second and a half to 2 seconds behind Raider. And then almost 10 to 11 seconds behind Yarrow is Hartwell. See there, Munson is staying out.
Yes, Munson wanted to get credited for leading a lap and that bonus point too, so don't say I don't blame him. I wonder who all here maybe have just taken tire, or who has just taken maybe gas and no tires, if anybody. You never can tell. That could come into favor later on to save a set of tires. You never know. You may need them.
Well,
but
they get, what, 4 sets?
4 sets of tires.
Well,
Munson staying out another lap. I would imagine pits would be closed if they do like they do, like if they use the rule, yes, thank you for helping me just spit that out. Like in the real world, yes, that's what I'm trying to say. So, does Kyle have enough to make it back around. That is the talk of the town at the moment. And, I mean, he does have a 14-second lead.
Yep, over Raider.
Yarrow is a second and a half behind Raider. And Yarrow 10 seconds behind those two, so. Munson staying out again.
I wonder if he's probably pulling that magnificent clutch to make it to the stage. It's been a long
He's pulling something.
week.
I feel like it's been a long month for me. I forget about a week.
I'm just... Oh. This month just needs to go faster so we can get out of summer. I'm ready for fall.
Yeah, I'm already tired of it being hot.
Yes, me too. I hate it. It's been a freaking 100 degrees every freaking day.
Munson coming to lap 30.
There it is. There's the stage break. So your stage winner will be Kyle Munson?
Yes, Kyle Munson here in the 40 car, winning the stage here in the SRU Xfinity Series. Nick Rader in second in the 23, Michael Yarrow third, Brandon Hartwell fourth, and Zach Deutscher in fifth position. And in a moment, we will talk to Kyle Munson, our stage winner here, once everything cycles out. I just, whenever, and,
yeah, we'll wait.
Yes, waiting. Jason pitted, it says, on the totem pole. Oh, okay. Don't overlook what I just said. I looked up and looked at the stream. I forgot the stream's behind. I need to grab my helmet. Anyway, first caution, but it's for the stage break, not for actual conduct.
Down now.
All right.
Yes, so now you get to see everything that I do.
I mean, yes.
I can't move. So that ain't gonna work. So I guess we're not gonna be talking to anybody. Yeah. Can't move.
It's okay.
But anyway, your stage winner Kyle Munson would have liked to hear his thoughts and how he magically saved that fuel roll, but unfortunately things do happen, so.
Well, probably like what you said, mad props to the clutch or some other, you could also button map, a button for your clutch button. So.
You see there? Yarrow's gonna go in. No, it ain't. That's Munson, sorry. Munson, Rader, Yarrow, Hartwell, Deutscher, Bridgman, Roy, Cassidy,
yes,
and Adams.
Everybody.
Yeah, you might as well say that. Besides Cossack. There you go.
Actually, Cossack might have led that lap, so credited to him.
Oh,
Oh,
you got
my.
A spinner. That's going to be
Is that Hartwell?
That is Hartwell.
Man. Hartwell was running pretty good inside. Munson wins the battle off pit road. Hartwell running pretty good. He was inside the top 5 before making said mistake. So, narrow pit lane, concrete pit boxes, asphalt transition into the concrete, small, narrow pit boxes from the narrow pit lane.
It's okay. So Kosik stays out, followed by, oh, that's right, Terry. Terry's going to look to get at least one of his laps back, which he was only one lap down. 2-1 top of the 7th. There you go. We've been going through hell. Sorry.
I think Ditto got his lap back. Terry's going to get the wave around, I think. Or he might just pit here.
Yeah.
Terry's pitting. Kind of surprised with Mark's call here.
Yeah, I probably would have came in with all the leaders, to be honest with you. F1, 94 pitches.
So I'm just going to put the fuel mileage, anywhere between 25 to 35 laps of fuel, 25 to 40. So we are going to have to see, at least, 1 to 2 more pit stops this evening. I'm going to guesstimate 2. But, because Kyle didn't pit there.
What?
Yes.
Mommy's back.
Yes, the Rhea Ripley. I thought it was funny.
So did I. I was sitting there. I was sicker than a dog that day. I'm like, all right, whatever. Just have her come out so I can go to bed. I'm just ready. So I guess Henry popped in NXT.
Yeah, he's going to be doing a lot more. He's going to be doing a lot more. Yes, NXT appearances.
That's good for him. That's good. Well,
he's got the catchiest. Catchiest thing. And he appeared.
Yeah, there you go. I believe in Joe Hendry. And then I saw,
like, you gotta look up all of his parody songs that he's done, like parodying, like, all these great songs and, like, cutting them into promos against people he's facing in, like, Ring of Honor, TNA, and, like the one promotion over in Britain. All right, pace car is off and green flag is out. Here we go. Oh yeah, massive wheel spin by a few of the drivers in the outside lane. Mark Kosik getting off to a decent start, but Nick Rader getting underneath and downstairs, going through turn 1 and 2 here on this opening restart.
Oh, you see Rader getting a little loose down there to the inside of Kosik. As Munson.
Side by side.
Yep. As Munson's going to look to help Kosik get on by this way. We'll try to, but remember, you don't want to push too much into the turns because you can throw off that person whoever you're pushing through the turns there. I've seen a lot of that this week at Pocono, so everybody wants to shove going into 1 and then do the same thing in 2 and then
And there you see Munson now having a time trying to get by Kosik. Kosik there on the exit of turn number 1 on that outside lane. Phillip behind. Everybody kind of using Kosik as a pick, trying to make Phillip stay behind him. contact made. Teammate on teammate crime.
Yes.
And into Cossack Zach goes.
That's hurtful.
Man.
That's very brutal. I mean...
3 wide, I think, in turn 3. Yeah, the exit of turn 3, they were 3 wide.
Zach just slides up a bit, moves Phil up, and then just that collection there by those two and sent the two teammates into each other. I'm sure that's going to be a discussion to talk about.
Oh, for sure. They're going to have a heated one. And like I said, teammate on teammate crime, Mark Cossack almost got by it, but couldn't miss it in a month of Sundays. So that's going to send him down, like you say, into Zach, and he's going to become a lawnmower. So, first actual caution of the night for contact out on the speedway.
How's your jaw feel, DJ? The throat looks a little swollen there. But anyway, yeah, teammate, crying, very hurtful words, I'm sure. Going to be exchanged. If we could talk to each and every one of them, we would, but unfortunately we didn't got that opportunity to do so, so I'm sure...
Listening games being played, coming to the commitment line. And the iRacing camera just wanted to turn and not, just wanted to keep showing us Raider. So that's okay. So this is going to be Raider, Yarrow, Story, Ditto, stay out, and Munson, Cassidy, of course, Deutscher, Blair, Roy, Bridgman, Adams, Cossack come in and pit. This is the caution that Terry needed to get his lap back. There goes Terry, zooming around, getting his lap back.
Damn. 9 hits
so,
for 1 score. Oof. And I saw that, what's that one team was there too? I guess they used to be teammates with, was it Trick Williams? I always end up catching the highlights. I can't remember.
On the well ways?
No. The team's now in NXT. I mean, TNA.
Yeah, why? Who are you talking about?
If I could remember the name, I would tell you, but offhand I can't.
I don't really keep up with NXT that much. I know I should, but I don't. Is it a... That sounded wrong. But is it a black guy?
No.
Like that? Oh, okay. It's not one of the
two
NXT.
That came from NXT, or the two that came from TNA, or the one that I was talking about that is in NXT.
Oh man, now you're just confusing me. Let's not talk about this right now. Man, oh man. I'm gonna just ask more inappropriate. You get the gist. It's not gonna be good. I know the guy that's currently got the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. I wish he'd lose it.
Oh, but Femi?
He used to play for the New England Patriots.
Oh, yes. I know who you're talking about. Okay, it's not Trick Williams.
So is this going to be a caution breeding caution incident? Are we going to keep seeing them be a little bit more racy out there, Brian? Do you suspect, or?
I'm going to say they're going to be racy because it is Indianapolis. So the team from TNA they came over was the Rascals. But,
TNA came to... Okay.
Yeah, there was quite a few of those. Actually, I think four of them popped up.
So, one fast repair in the series, you can almost imagine that possibly Phil and Zach could have used it just then.
Oh, Wesley, that was the guy. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he used to be teammates with one of the guys in the Rascals from TNA. They, I don't know if they signed a contract or when it's came out. But one of the guys said we're finally back home, so it's quite a possibility. I don't know, so we'll see. But anyway,
Like
38.
NXT is like a monthly by monthly thing.
Yeah.
It's not really. I feel like that's where they go.
About some other sport.
No, it's not even a. Well, some people consider
It's a
wrestling a
men's
sport.
soap opera.
Yes, yes. I'm coming off the sides of. All right. About to have 38 laps complete, working our second caution, first of incident, and green flag is back out. Nick Rader leads him away with a hole shot. Ditto spins his tires in that 3 car on that outside lane, so second time we have seen drivers spin the tires. 3 wide for a mere moment going into turn 1 on this restart. Jason gets up out of the groove along with the 3 car. Here comes Zach trying to get back up through the field for a second time of asking. And Philip probably seeing a bit of red. You're like, come on, man. I mean, I feel like everybody adds like a rock type of guitar solo, like an Undertaker type of guitar solo to their theme song nowadays. Like the Jeff Hardy "No More Words" theme. Like there's kind of a rock / like Undertaker type of like guitar solo in there. If you go back and listen to it, and then like the Joe Hendry, like come on, like it's so noticeable. But about to be halfway completed here. Once we come up turn number 4 and see the yard of bricks again for the 40th time. You take one down, pass it around, just 40 more to go. As Nick Rader leads over Michael Yarrow, David Cassidy, that's the top 3. Brandon Hartwell, Zach Deuscher getting by, Daniel Story for 5th position. Story under fire by Philip Bridgman in the 5 car. Larry Blair, Jason Adams, and Kyle Munson rounds out the top 10. Kevin Roy, though, knocking on the top 10's door. He's steadily back there in 11th. Just a few tenths off 10th position, but nevertheless. David Cassidy getting a good run. It looks like maybe, no, he was just peeking down the front straightaway, but Philip Bridgman gets a good run there on Daniel Story coming out of turn number 4 into turn number 1. They're side by side. No one wants to give, but Daniel Story is not going to have the momentum. Philip's going to slide up in front and takes the 6th position away from Daniel Story. That's the closest battle for position we have. Besides, right behind them, Larry Blair, Jason Adams, Kyle Munson, right behind them. Zach Deuscher and Brandon Hartwell up in front. Battles all over the foot here. 42 laps in. 38 to go. Coming off of turn number 4 to get 37 to go. everybody, you got to be very precise to try to put, just half a car down in these corners. If you want to venture that far, you've seen some not even do it. It can be a bit too treacherous. Some prefer to do it, some just don't, as you see there. Not sure if that was Yarrow Cassidy who kind of clipped the wall before entering turn number 3. So you got to be careful of doing that too. You can just yaw the car out a bit too much. But just after halfway here, 36 laps remaining, and we can do some ride-on boards here for a crank it up portion. These wall mounts are fine and dandy too, but crank it up portion here this evening, SRU action at the Brickyard. Hopefully everybody enjoys it. So, here we are working lap 50 of 80 here in the SRU Xfinity Series. Nick Rader, still the race leader, I do believe. Yes, indeed. Just barely, though, over Michael Yarrow. Michael Yarrow still keeping Rader honest and on his heels, on his toes. You know, Zach Buescher moving into third position. David Cassidy has stumbled down the totem pole from being in third position, stalking all over the back of Yarrow like a bad rash. He has stumbled down into sixth position, and he's got a decent gap over Munson. So the totem pole, our running order here, as anybody else would like to try to call it, has really mismatched in the past 6 laps. As, like I said, Rader still continues to lead. Yarrow, Deutscher, Hartwell in 4th position. Bridgman 5th. That rounds out the top 5. Cassidy 6th. Munson 7th. Kevin Roy 8th. Adams Jason is in 9th. And Daniel Story rounds out the top 10. But one of the closest battles as Michael Yarrow scrapes the wall coming off of turn number 4. So that's going to lose a little bit of momentum to Rader, but Zach's going to gain a whole lot of ground. So Ronic in Nick Rader's ear, Zachary Ronic probably telling Rader, hey, Yarrow just hit the wall that last time out of number 4. So, you're probably going to have some breathing room for a lap or two until he gathers that momentum back. Because just like at Martinsville, he really yaws the car out of turn number 3 into the short chute of 3 and 4. So, losing a lot of ground now to Rader is Yarrow, and Deutscher just probably bicycling it to kind of give Yarrow enough breathing space. Oh, man. Yarrow really making my stomach turn, man. Just he's really getting all he can get for that car. All he can really manage the whole track, man. Trying to stay within windshield view of Nick Rader in that 23 machine.
See there, Zach Deutscher all over the 45, just about. You see there, Zach had a little bobble.
Yarrow still getting a bit down, a bit too far down for my liking. If I hadn't already cut my fingernails, I'd be gnawing at them at the bits, I tell you what. Just making me nervous. Looking down the running order, seeing if there's any other battles afoot. Don't really quite see any. But you can kind of tell just by looking at the intervals of each competitor. Maybe Story and Blair, but that's 11th and 12th position. We could probably take a peek at that real quick just to see what's afoot back yonder way. And perfect timing as Story overcooks it into turn number 3. It looks like just overdrives, just didn't back the corner enough. Rebooting. Didn't back the corner up enough to prevent that from happening to where he was going to get up out of the groove just to ride along cowboy style up out of the groove, and the car walked the dog, so to speak, and Larry Blair had a double door opportunity open for him, and that now puts Larry up into the 11th spot. He was in 12th, so Mark Kosick having a good stand-up top 10 day. Now a battle just changed for 5th position, Kyle Munson and David Cassidy. So Munson and Cassidy going at it side by side. Look at who's right behind them. Oh, another save by Cassidy in the same spot as it was 54 laps prior.
25 laps to go here tonight from
Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Thank you, yes.
As Brian has a brain fart. He just decided to turn into Jimmy Neutron all of a sudden. He's like, where am I? Turn into Biden walking down a grocery aisle, I tell you what. Why'd I come in this store? I don't know. Back up at the front, nothing has changed. Rader, Yarrow, Deutscher, that's still the top three, but Yarrow has got back to Rader. It's no longer, he's there. Let's go back. Let's tune back into the front. Put my handy dandy production man right on it. And, Rader coming into the pits. So, with 25 laps to go, the final pit stop of the evening has occurred. Rader pitting now. But we do know that some of these drivers, especially like Deutscher, can go longer. You know, they can go a little bit longer. Rader stayed out, if I'm not mistaken, right? Under the last caution that we had, if I'm not mistaken. Yarrow and Rader stayed out. So.
And I think Zach came in and topped off, I think. So I think Zach should be okay.
Zach was the cause of caution. He did come in. Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. That there was an envelope there that got licked and pushed too far through the space that it was going to go get melded through. Anyway. 23 laps to go. David Cassidy cycling out on the apron out of the pits. Nick Rader was able to pit and not lose a lap. 45 seconds behind the race leader. We should see him on the back straightaway maybe, depending on which camera iRacing. I guess we're not going to see him at all. So he's 5 seconds pretty much. 6 seconds, right? 6 seconds to the good ahead of the race leaders, Deutscher and Yarrow. Okay, I'm gonna have a crick in my neck here soon. Anywho, so here comes Yarrow, but he's gonna wheel hop a little bit into the pits. Now we saw Sunday evening that commitment line really catch out some drivers. Kyle Munson was one of them. He had to come down and serve a pass-through penalty because he got loose, or something happened to him. He had an uncontrollable car coming out of turn number 4, and he clipped the cone. We all know that if you kill one of the conies, that's a penalty, right? Or if you clip the line and don't come down pit or whatever, that's a penalty, and that's what happened to Munson. But he had a good drive back, nevertheless. Either we have 22 laps to go. Deutscher staying out a wee bit further. I don't know if this is going to be beneficial or what. Yes. Like I said, don't know if this is going to be beneficial or what to the strategy at hand for Deutscher. Hartwell now taking over and leading another lap. All depends on what Deutscher takes and so on to get in and out of the pits quick.
At least until Rader gets
Exactly. Bridgman in as well, along with Kevin Roy. So who's left to pit is Hartwell and Kyle Munson. Those are the two left remaining to pit. Nick Rader gets by Deutscher, so there's about a 4-second differential between Rader and Deutscher. Don't know if Deutscher is going to have enough time to run down Raider. I think there may be more than 4.
Between Raider and Boister.
6 seconds.
Anywhere between 5 to 6 seconds.
But Deutscher and Yarrow are going to have at it, it looks like. As all these fast, or at least people on fresher tires, are trying to navigate Hartwell. As Hartwell, you would think Hartwell would be pitting that lap. I think he is. So, yes, he is. So right there in the picture frame is Hartwell. Oh my goodness, Raider, Deutscher, and Yarrow. Man, that's difficult to say apparently. As you saw them coming down the back straightaway before entering turn number 3. So you see the deficit in a way between Raider, Deutscher, and Yarrow. Unless Deutscher kind of burns his stuff up here, he should be able to keep Yarrow at bay. But can he run down Raider? He's got just over 6.5 seconds. I don't know. He might have enough time, but he needs Raider to have some mistakes or things, just go his way a little bit more.
Yarrow and Zach need to work together to get up there.
Yes, that too. With now under 20 laps to go, 19 remaining.
Well, he's ever so slightly ticking away Raider. I think Raider might have pitted a little bit too soon.
That's a good theory, though. Raider could have pitted just a wee bit too soon. Deutscher enough time to run him down and still do something.
Maybe.
Right. Can you refresh the Twitch chat, because there was a bot that came in and left a long bot message, but other than that, so excuse me. So, SRU Xfinity Series, Indianapolis action here coming at you on the BNR Racing Network. As Yarrow grabs the wall again, that last time by out of the turn number 4 exit. So, let's see if he can do it again. That's what we're tuning in for.
So you see there's Zach almost 5 seconds.
Yep. Almost got it 5 seconds down to the T. Bobby Ditto in that danger zone, 1 second away from being the next car 1 lap down, the first car 1 lap down.
Looks like he got some right side damage there on the car.
He's pulling his best Michael Yar impression, trying to see if that wall still works. So there's the race leader. And you can see Deutscher has really chalked down the deficit. It's now 4.5 seconds, Brian, give or take.
Yep, just
so
about.
Plenty of time still, to get to putt around this 2.5 mile oval. And still, like I said, getting there is one thing, passing's another. You can always make the car as wide as you need it, and how much of a hindrance will Bobby be, to Nick Rader, as far as, Nick catching him right here in turn number 1. Oh man, that might be a bit of a nuisance right where Nick caught Bobby.
Yeah.
Now we just gotta wait. Yeah, there was about 4/10 right there, right in where you're catching, slower traffic, so to speak. Nothing against Bobby in the 3 car. He held his line and did what he's supposed to do. That's exactly what you need to do when a quicker opponent comes up behind you to maybe put you a lap down or just to get by you. You just hold your line. So applause to the 3 car, and 15 laps to go. 14 at the stripe right now. 14 laps to go. 3 and a 4th lead over Zach Deuscher. Nick Rader has Michael Yarrow just behind Zach in the 45 in 3rd place, filling the final spot on the podium. Kyle Munson in 4th position. He's 18 seconds back of Nick Rader. David Cassidy rounds out the top 5. He's 19 and a half seconds back of Nick Rader. Philip Bridgman is right behind David Cassidy in 6th position. Then Kevin Roy is back here in 7th position, Speed Racer. He's got Jason Adams right there, and Mark Cossack, stand-up top 10 performance, rolling at the moment, but Brandon Hartwell, Larry Blair, and Daniel Story, don't know why I called him David, right there, 10th, 11th, 12th. Bridgman and Cassidy, 5th and 6th, just had a position exchange. So Philip going inside the top 5 again.
Like I said, Indianapolis can be tough. It's a rhythmic track, hitting the marks and making passes. It's been a while since we've seen the actual Indy Oval, which I'm kind of glad that they went back to it. I think it's going to be a good race this weekend. Next week, sorry. This weekend's Pocono. My days mixed up.
Yes, Brian, you've heard me preach for years, ever since you've known me. Let's go back to Nick Rader real quick, just to keep an eye on the lead when you were going there, 10-4. But you've heard me ever since you've known me, Brian, which has been probably longer than you want to know. But anyway, ever since I've been able to talk about motorsport to anyone, and mainly NASCAR, right? When you go to these multiple different racing facilities, like a Kansas, like a Charlotte, like an Indianapolis, like a Homestead, just keep naming off other tracks that have multi-purpose built facilities, and you can host different tracks, different events. Iowa, for instance,
Iowa's got a road course, hasn't it?
Yes, I was getting there. Yes, Iowa has a road course, so
I would hate to see that.
there's right. You can actually look it up. Grand Dam America Rolex Sports Car Series race there. The Daytona prototypes and the Grand Dam
Daytona prototypes.
Yeah, yes. Like the original Riley chassis and stuff that were going out, that were kind of like, that was like the last couple of years of them like being in existence racing. Yes, you can look them up. They ran there, I want to say 2 years they went to Iowa, but anywho, Kansas, like you said, Iowa, Indianapolis, Charlotte, Atlanta at one time had a road course. Talladega at one time had a road course before the rednecks. Before all the people brought their furniture and like it was the Nürburgring 24 or something. But anyway, you have all these different tracks with multi-purpose built, facilities to accommodate different motorsports or different racing series. Gateway has a road course.
I know Peggy does.
Right, but that's in Japan. Anyway, all these different racing facilities that aren't just ovals but rovals are, hey, we've got a road course. Oh, really? Okay, cool. But, you can go to it, you can do it once a year or do it, Michael Yarrow. Did something has happened to Yarrow, Brian?
Something has happened to Yarrow.
Because Kyle Munson, everybody has moved up. Michael Yarrow, I think we can presume, has lagged out of the race, ladies and gentlemen. Elvis has left the building.
That's what it looks like.
And Michael Yarrow, that's a bummer for Yarrow, who is, like we talked about earlier in the show, in a fierce battle, points battle-wise, with Brandon Hartwell in the 25, so the 25-45, in a points battle here before the regular season ends. We'll get to that more in a few laps time. 7.5 laps remaining, and Deutscher is there. Oh my goodness. Let's not act too surprised. We knew this was probably going to happen. So Bobby Ditto is in the pits. I really need to. One of these days, I'm gonna pronunciation check his name. One of these days, I'm gonna pop in, or whenever I'm not too busy before the race, and be like, "Yo, Bobby, how do you pronounce that last name, sir?" So. Now 7 laps remaining.
Many go? I am not even going to try.
Yeah, don't try it again. I like the way I've been doing it for a little bit here, but hopefully hasn't been getting too mad at me. Want to throw some fist at me. So Zach stalking now the back of Nick Rader. He's there. Some would say he's in the presence. He's there. He has a toe. He has a draft. He has his sniff. You want to do it too? But diving into turn 3 with 6.5 laps remaining. I'm just kidding. No one wants to do those things. That's terrible. That's bad. You ask them to say no. Go away. All those hurricanes down there in the tropics, man, they're just... It's almost like I don't know what it's called, but the mechanisms like shoot like the bowling balls back out of back up at you. Like that's kind of what that reminds me of. Just spitting them right out at us.
The problem is Zach gonna be able to get on by rate? I think he might have burnt some of his stuff up.
Oh, for sure.
To get up there to Raider. But we know that very well. He's capable to pull things off that no one can do. So, all about entry. Like right there, you hit it perfect.
5 laps to go. Raiders probably thinking of just where to put my car to dump that dirty air all over the nose of that 7 car. Zach was a bit tail happy coming up at turn number 2 down this long back straightaway. Both these drivers know exactly what it takes to get around here. Oh, Nick a bit tail happy on the exit of turn number 3. But both drivers, you would think, or you would have to say one, Zach is good in 1 and 2, and it looks like Nick is better in 3 and 4, at least from that lap. Like I talked about earlier, both ends of the track is very different. All four turns, very different.
Yeah, they are. Oh,
that is the wall. But that's not going to slow Zach down that much. He's still there.
We got some storms rolling through. I hear it.
Like I said a while ago, it truly looks like one driver is better in 1 and 2 than 3 and 4.
So I think that's where it kind of balances out a little bit. I think Zach's better for the first half, and then Rader's better for the second.
And with 3 laps to go, it's still too early to say whose race it is. Nick Rader can just have one slip up. He can put one wheel just wrong. We saw the last lap by, as Rader now trying to break the toe down the back straightaway. Simon Pagenaud did that to perfection on his way to win his Indianapolis 500. Can Nick Rader do the same thing on his way to win here at the Brickyard as well? Coming off of turn number 4 to get the penultimate lap. 2 laps remaining, pending any cautions that may waive. Both drivers getting all they can get into turn number 1, into the short chute, for turn number 2. Down the back straightaway now, both cars pointed straight. Rader trying to break the toe again, but Deutscher is there. They don't need to compromise their entry into turn number 3 for the penultimate time, like I said, of speaking. Coming through the short chute, Deutscher is there. If he has anything, it's going to be this lap of asking. You don't want to make it too early. Rader defending, going down the straightaway, going to be compromised a little bit. Deutscher trying to dump some air onto that rear to make the car a bit unsettled. Deutscher gets wobbly, going through the short chute. That's going to be all she wrote, I think, for Zach's chances of winning here this evening. Nick Rader down the back straightaway for the final time, leading this race. Landon Hartwell and Kevin Roy having a swabble for 5th position as Nick Rader coming through 3 and 4 for the final time. Oh, it's Bridgman, Hartwell, and Roy back here battling for 4th, 5th, and 6th position. Hartwell, who I thought might have a top 5 run in him. Man, oh man, who's it going to be? Oh, Hartwell gets loose on entry. But looks like Bridgman's going to hold off for 4th position. Munson gets 3rd, final step on the podium. And Bridgman 4th, Hartwell 5th, Kevin Roy 6th. Man, what a battle all the way around. Rader, Deutscher, Munson, Bridgman, Hartwell, Roy, Cassidy. Looks like Adams, Cossack, Blair, Story, Duguay, and Bobby. Michael Yarrow. Tough, heartbreaking lag out don't know what it could have been between the three of those competitors, Yarrow, Raider, and Deutscher. Yes, good job, Raider, I'd have to say, just defending that race towards the end, the handful of laps there, placing his car right where he needed to defend and get the victory here tonight.
Yeah, he did really good. That was a bummer for Zach. Zach kind of looked like the rear of the car, and it just took off from there.
It's turn number 3. Whether it be entry or exit, just looked to be the treacherous corner here this evening for us, and we saw some drivers just, especially David Cassidy, a couple of times just really lose it, but save it through there. So.
Oh yeah, I would say overall great race.
Oh, tremendous race, great race. I'd have to say, 80 laps here, 200 miles here, no overtime, so that's a plus for me. That gets a plus in my book. And one caution, truly, if you don't count the stage. You had the teammate on teammate crime there, but things happen, incidences happen, especially one of the most narrowest oval circuits ever. So it's going to happen. Things funnel up quickly going into these corners, and you just never know what to expect at the brickyard. So, like I said, I do believe looking at the calendar here, as we wrangle up our drivers for the post-race interviews, looking at the calendar here, I do believe it says a week off, and then Michigan. So Michigan here in the Xfinity cars is always a pleasant and fun handful from what the drivers do be telling.
I will give it a couple of minutes until see if he fixes it, because I still can't move anybody. But very exciting race. I could have swore Zach was going to get to him and make the pass, but just when your car slips away like that, it's very unfortunate. But yeah, but mistakes do happen, and unfortunately that was a costly mistake on his end. So Holmes, what are you doing? Can I move yet? No, I can't. Give it another 2 minutes and then. I think Yarrow just like that.
No, I can move them to the waiting room, but I can't move them to the broadcast. Did you hear me?
Yeah. I can't move either or. Well, unfortunately, that's just probably gonna have to do it. We tried to wait. I sent messages over to Mr. Adams there, but unfortunately he's probably a little busy. So very unfortunate. If we can remember the finishing order when they come back, we will talk to them.
I'm moving. I just moved Munson to the waiting room. Moved Nick. Now I got Zach. Trying to get Zach.
I can't. I don't have that option.
You can't what?
Move. Hold on.
What are they doing?
Like it's not highlighted for me. I can't move them.
Man.
Oh well, what a doozy. I hate to see it, but hopefully they can get that a little fixed. So anyway, well, that was a very interesting race. A great race overall, I would say. So until then, as you heard Will say, they are off next week.
Yes,
See, I still can't move them. And then the week after they come back, where are they at?
Michigan.
That's right, Michigan. Very high, fast pace. I always call it a super speedway. That's just how it drives. Oh shit, crap, lost his bat. But
until then, until a couple of weeks from now, I presume, we don't know if, like Brian said, don't foresee Michigan being next week. Like it says on the schedule, it's 2 weeks from now. So I suppose we will see everybody then. So unless you see us back on, until then, we wish each and every one of the drivers, coming out, being a part of this race, thank you. Always love to see that, everybody coming out, being a part, and also the fans, whether it be family members, whoever, coming out, being a part, cheering on your favorite SRU Xfinity driver here on the BNR Racing Network. So, yes, like Brian was trying to say, just want to wish each and every one of you. Hello, Nick. We got Nick. Hey, the race winner, Nick.
So, well.
Hey, we don't have to cut it short. We can do the interviews. Nick, how's it be?
They're just gonna have to join. They're just gonna have to join one by one.
Well, that works too.
That's the only way. So whenever Nick
couldn't.
goes back up, tell Kyle to jump in.
Yeah, if you guys don't mind. So, Nick, dominant performance this evening, bro. Tell us about it. Nick?
Yeah, it was a good performance there. Started on the pole, had most laps out front, and we were just dialed in. I mean, the car felt really good all race. I did a lot of practice for this over the last few hours, so it was a lot of fun. I mean, we had the dominant car pretty much all day. Munson, with his fuel strategy, got the stage win, which good for him. 5 laps of fuel here saving's pretty hard to do, so congrats on him to that.
Okay, so Jason's gonna move them. So I guess they're going first, second, and third. I normally do third, second, and then first, but that's all right.
Hey, yeah, we don't mind doing a different order. That's, tell us, like you said, you were practicing for a few hours, leading up to this race. Tell us, were you kind of trail braking, getting into the corners? What were you doing to back the corners up, Nick, or without giving too many of the secrets away from having a dominant performance? What does it take to be good around here in these Xfinity cars, brother?
Yeah, you just really cannot overdrive entry. If you overdrive entry and don't get that run down that straightaway, you're losing tenths, and they can close on you fast. you just got to make sure 2 and 4 to the long straights, you just don't overdrive and you get a really good exit. And that's all I focused on was just getting off the corner, not having wheel spin, taking care of the tires, and going as quick as we can down those straights and carrying as much momentum as possible. And it makes it really hard to pass when you're kind of even. You got to do something different. And the second place in that dirty air with Zach there, it's just hard to pass. You can't get close enough to make a move, and there's not much room down there as it is, and they got those rumble strips in the grass. If you get in the grass, it's no good. So you're kind of limited on how low you can get to that guy, and just getting those runs down the straightaway are the key.
Yeah, you're kind of playing like limbo with the guy behind you. Like, how low can you go? Like you're talking about, and also like defending, like just putting that dirty air on the nose of that competitor. Like you say, like you can't necessarily pass unless you, the lead car, kind of make the mistake, right? And all about hitting your marks, making, a mistake-free race, so to speak. And, getting on and off pit road here is a challenge in and of itself. Like, tell us about, trying to be mistake-free, getting on and off pit road, Nick.
Yeah, it's tough. It comes up real tough, just staying low and kind of not hitting the gas in the corner, just rolling that corner 4 to pit lane and then just maintaining that 55 down there. It's a long, slow pit road. And, of course, getting out of the box, that's the key. Getting out of your box, and then that access road's tight and narrow. The more momentum you can carry out of that, you can kind of go up in there between 1 and 2. They got that gap. You can kind of arc it a little higher and get that runoff down that straightaway, so you're still carrying a bunch of momentum coming out of the pits. So it was a lot of fun. It was a really good race. I've made mistakes all year against Yarrow and Brandon, and running second or third like Zach, just couldn't catch them, and finally put it all together today, which felt real great.
Yes, sir. Congratulations on the win here, Nick. Next week, well, not next week, apparently a week off, then back at it again at Michigan. So after the week off, like I said, go to Michigan. What's the hopes, aspirations, dreams going into Michigan after the week off?
Well, that's our playoff race, number 1. So
yes, sir.
Got to be on point, and that's a fun track. It's drafting. It's not much separation there, so it's kind of like a mini super speedway, would you say? But you still can separate yourself a little bit. So it should be a lot of fun to go in there. I like that track. It's a blast. Got another 2-miler, so fuel mileage I'm sure will come into play there, and getting on and off pit road will be the same. That one's I believe harder too. Getting off there, it's a tough one.
Yes, sir. Do agree. Final thoughts, shout outs, anything else, Nick, before we let you go celebrate this dub?
Yeah, thank you guys for broadcasting, you and Brian. And my spotter, Zach, again, did a great job with the strategies and finally brought her home. So have a good night, you guys, and we're going to celebrate the win.
Good night, Nick. All right, Nick Rader, everybody, congratulations to him and P2 finisher tonight, Zach Glacier, one would presume. Here we go. Yes, indeed, Zach in the house. So, congratulations, Zach. I know it's not the one spot better that you hoped for tonight here at Indy, but Nick just really controlling the air and everything, just dumping the dirty air on you, and really, once you got there, getting there was one thing, passing's another, and just being a narrow circuit and everything, and second's not bad. Good points night and everything, but it being the final race of the regular season, points, I guess, don't really mean a whole lot either. But anywho, nevertheless, tell us about it from your point of view, Zach.
That was a good race all in all. That last stint, man, was that. I know drove so hard, but yet try to save and conserve as much as I did. But yeah, once I got to him there, about half a second, I knew the biggest thing was going to be the dirty air, and then just trying to get around him. It's the air, man. It's so much as you can see to play with, and it's if I wouldn't have got loose there coming out of 2 or 1 there, I think I would have had him in the back stretch at least pushing side by side. Or 3, was it 3 or was it 2? I think it was 2.
It was 2. Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. It was. Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right. My bad.
It was a good race, though, man. Nick, I don't have much to say. I'm just beat. That was such a good race. I just don't know how to explain it.
It was a good race. Halfway through, you had some teammate on teammate crime. You getting into Phil and kind of made it bit 3 wide. Mark's good run. He's if I can remember right, Mark still had a top 10 day, so it wasn't all too shambles. But I mean, you guys were kind of doing some spinneroonies there in 3 and 4. Like I said, it was some teammate on teammate crime. You were going for a gap that maybe was there, maybe wasn't. No. Oh, okay.
So sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I was just talking about the teammate on teammate crime. You and
I
Philip.
was just talking to him about that.
Yeah.
It was. I think it was me redeeming him a little bit because he tried going 3 wide where it really should have been 3 wide. But hey, we didn't get damage from it, so it's all good.
Oh, okay. Well, week off, and then next week, the Xfinity Series playoffs start, and then Michigan. So what's thoughts? Everything from Michigan.
No, I'm not really at points. I'm just here for fun. But yeah, try to win. That's the goal every week. Just be consistent, get top 5s, or wouldn't it be better? But just same thing for each race. You gotta have the same kind of mindset.
Yes, indeed, Zach. Well, congratulations on the P2. Final thoughts, shout-outs, anything else you'd like to add?
Shout-outs to you guys. Always fun listening to the broadcast while racing. SRU, if you guys are interested in racing here, hit one of us up and we'll get you in. Great league, a lot of great guys. I've been here for many years. Cannot recommend it enough. Nick, what a race, man. What a race. I wish we could have made it a drag race to the end there, but I just can't give him enough credit. My teammate Philip with that late strategy to get us up in 2nd and 4th, that was amazing, and all family and friends that else are watching. Just a great race.
All right, Zach, we'll catch up with you later. Congratulations again on the P2.
Heck yeah, thank you.
And bringing it home on the final spot of the podium, Kyle Munson, ladies and gentlemen. Kyle.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Well, what's up with you? 3rd place finisher. Just sneaking it in. Here, just taking that final spot and just calling it your home. You being in. I can't hardly talk now. All of a sudden, ABC English. Those Greek words just can be hard. Anyway, so you're just really getting some good, consistent run-ins here as of late here, Kyle. And just tell us about it. Racing here at Indy at the Brickyard with these Xfinity cars. Like, what was it taking for you tonight to be as consistent? Being in the top 5, the battles that you were facing. With just about everybody in the field. You had to fend off Jason and some others,
Yeah, so basically really early on, I was automatically committed to saving fuel right off the bat.
Right.
I just wanted to make sure that I went the full 30 laps plus some. So I was hardcore committed to saving. So that worked out really well. I was able to get the stage win. And then, just basically just try to keep the car clean and not banging on the walls or anybody else. And you know how it is, man. I mean, you got to, in order to finish first you must finish.
You must finish.
So that's always kind of been my strategy. Just keep the car clean to the end and see how everything plays out. And then if we're in a position, then we'll go for it.
So you must have like a double clutch or like a triple clutch system in that car or something. Like, if you've got an endless clutch, it's a never flowing, like, just something, right? Like, Jason, inspect that car. You know what I'm saying? you got that Joey Legato fuel mileage, Yeah. So, just like you said, from the drop of the green flag, you weren't really expecting to see a caution, here at this place, opening stanza of the race. You were like, I ain't going to see no caution. I'm just going to instantly start saving. And like you said, and like we saw, I was expecting, lap 27 or, coming to that 2 to go before the end of the stage. I was figuring, here comes Kyle. He's going to pit. No. And so, yeah, I was just kind of amazed by it. You getting the better, that Ford economy fuel mileage in that Toyota. Have you driven a Ford lately? You know.
Yeah,
But,
so I mean the car was really good all night. Obviously the fuel economy stuff. There's a lot of effort that goes into that. I do put in a lot of work in trying to squeeze every bit out of it that I can.
So do you take a day out of your week, to like kind of practice all of your league races, so to speak, and kind of get a feel for like the opening fuel run, so to speak, what you could kind of do, what type of strategy you can hopefully go into the race with?
Actually, no. A lot of times when these Xfinity races, I don't even bother even practicing before. Like even race day practice, I might get maybe 5-10 minutes in maximum. A lot of times.
So you, Philip?
What's that?
Nothing.
Oh,
Nothing.
My bad.
No.
I don't really put in a lot of effort into doing the practice. I don't like practice fuel runs or anything like that. So
go up and get it.
Yeah,
get it
exactly.
in. Yeah, we're just gonna let it all hang out on that first lap, and if it goes to the hot dog stand, we're going to the hot dog stand.
Pretty much. I mean, it was.
Man.
Obviously, it's an educated guess. You got to kind of play it by ear and see how it's going mid race. And if it looks like it's going to run green, then kind of adjust your driving style and whatever you got to do to stretch the fuel.
Man, that slow-mo shot right there on the broadcast. We're watching it back. Man, David got greedy down there on that rumble strip. Anyway, so yeah, Kyle, good podium finish here for you to wound down the regular season in the SRU Xfinity Series before we start. Take the week off, start the playoff run here in the Xfinity Series. So, final thoughts, shout-outs, anything else you'd like to mention before we let you go? Michigan next, not next week, but week after. Michigan, thoughts as well for Michigan?
So that's a home track for me. I'm definitely excited for that. I absolutely love that track. So yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Definitely want to say thanks to SRU for putting on the series. For you guys for doing a broadcast, much appreciated for that, and my sponsors for always supporting me. So.
Well, Kyle, like I said, congratulations again on that consistent, top 5, top 3, the podium finish here tonight. You kind of remind me of mine and Brian's good friend, Jason Pearson, always kind of being kind of not really a nuisance, but one to really struggle with in the top, like having to have a name in the hat towards the end of these races is what I'm saying,
Yeah.
Like you're always there, you're present to really. I'm not really saying like Ryan Newman. That's more like Jason's job title to have being kind of like the Ryan Newman of the league. Hard to pass, difficult to be around. I'm just kidding, Jason. Anyway, so yes, congratulations on the podium, Kyle, and we'll talk to you hopefully at some point.
Yeah, thank you. Much appreciated.
Yes, sir. All right, Jason.
Hey guys, I appreciate you broadcasting tonight. Sorry for the confusion there at the end of the race, trying to get people brought down, but we will get that worked out for you here soon. But again,
good.
Thanks guys. It was a interesting race for sure. A lot of green flag racing there, which was a lot of fun. Gas mileage race, so can't get no better than that, boys.
No, you can't. Love to see it. Like you say, you have just about a bit of everything in tonight's race here. That you guys brought to us, SRU Xfinity Series, at Indianapolis. It can't, just like I said, you go back, play it back, and like you said, a lot of green flag action. You also had a lot of good battling all throughout the race, and only 2 total cautions too. So, both races from Indianapolis in the SRU series. I don't know if you guys ran here in the trucks. Not 100% sure, but as far as the Xfinity and Cup races go, man, they were some good races for sure. I'd have to know I was a witness to both. Anyway, Jason, so you down there? Where'd you finish? 8th. So that was a good stand-up top 10 for you. you had some struggles and some battles of your own, trying to, fend off Larry and some other people. You and Kevin were looking quite spicy at one point. So, anyway, like I was saying earlier, we got a week off. Kind of heal up, kind of get some testing done, maybe, or some other things leading into the playoffs. So. Do you guys do elimination playoffs by chance, Jason, or is it, once you guys have it, is it all from points, or I can't remember, Jason.
Well, next week we are off. Starting
Yes, sir.
July the 23rd, we'll start our chase. The top 15 drivers will advance. Then we're going to have 3 races after that, and whoever the top 6 drivers is after them 3 races will advance to the next 3 races. And September the 4th is going to be our last race to defend it out against the top 4 drivers going in. And as the drivers already know, stage points and stuff like that will not be calculated in the playoffs. So it's straight whatever position you finish in is the position you get. So there's no bonuses for, leading extra laps or being first through fifth at stage. So it's going to make it a little bit interesting. So whoever is the best man crosses the line pretty much is going to be the winner of the championship.
Yes, sir, Jason. So thanks for getting that all sorted out, straightened out. If we need more questions or need to double back, you're always there. So anyway, like I was saying earlier, just thanks to all the drivers, all the admins, everybody at SRU coming out, being a part of the series and being a part of tonight's race, all the spectators, everybody, me and Brian, putting on the shindig, putting on the show. Jason, like I said, you guys putting on the league. And, thank you guys for having us come out, wanting us to be a part as well. So until a couple of weeks from now in Michigan, like I said, we're going to take a week off. And we'll be right back with all the action. And until then, hopefully everybody has a wonderful and safe good night.